In this episode, Formula E season finale. Kimi Raikkonen, the Iceman, has been testing NASCAR, and the California Auto Club is going short track. Welcome to episode 105 of the We Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, it's racing news time.
It is time for some racing news and some bad news. There wasn't a lot.
No, there was really not much.
There was no Formula One.
Nope.
There was no IMSA.
Nope.
There was no Indy.
Mm-mm.
There was no GT America?
Don't
think so.
SRO always has something going on somewhere.
Yes, but the big main title race of SRO didn't happen. No 24H series. No... nothing. Except for the most boring series in the world. Which,
yes.
unfortunately, because it was the only series that really kind of raced this past weekend, I suppose we are kind of obligated to mention it and talk about it.
Let's do it. I think you would really enjoy this.
This can be my
Formula E was racing this past weekend.
favorite episode we've ever done.
It was their final race of the season.
Not of ever?
No, they're going to go next year. Of course. These are developmental systems for the manufacturer to sort out their electric vehicle technology. So they say. I don't know how true that actually is.
Just a bunch of a really expensive golf carts going round and round in circles that can't go the whole race without getting a whole new car.
Hey, you settle down over there. Because the internal combustion engine racing also started like this, where it was a developmental platform for the manufacturers to sort things out. Then they made it cool.
Exciting.
Then you started watching. It probably was not exciting in the beginning.
Leave me alone and my antiquated thinking.
They'll get there. It'll be exciting. Quick note, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the driver to the left in this photo. He is going through their little speed boost thing.
What?
Yeah, you can activate a boost if you drive through those two lines. And I think you get like 15% more power that next lap.
Wow. So you don't get it immediately. So you don't go launching to the inside of the next corner.
No.
Because to me, from what it looks like here, it looks like he's moving far deep to the inside. He's going to pick up the inside line and then absolutely punt these two cars.
No. But I think I would rather have this than DRS.
Sure.
Yeah. Because they only get this 1, 2, or 3 times a race. Something it's under 3 times a race. And you have to select when you want to use it strategically. Whereas F1's just like, hit the DRS button as many times as you can when you get to the straightaway.
Fair.
It's not very strategic. And when DRS is open, it's like, it's a clear pass. Unless you just have a train of cars that are the DRS train.
I actually prefer the Indy style of doing that.
Oh, push to pass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you have a limited amount of push to pass to use. So it's kind of the same. It's kind of like a mix of both. It's kind of like the Formula E weird 2-line boost in the next lap thing. We have to be strategic about when. But it's also like F1 where it's like, okay, I want to go now. I'm going to go now.
The only problem that I have with the Indy one is it's very hard to determine when the driver's using it. There's no graphic on the left that's like, he's on the button using the push to pass right now.
I agree.
So from a fan's perspective, it's like, I don't know.
Did he push to pass? Or
He passed the car. I don't know if he used his button or not. I don't know how many seconds he has left. I don't know.
I wish you could see like the rear wing open like you see in F1.
Either a leader light system like IMSA, or they could go through a spot like this in Indy and activate your push to pass for the whole lap and do a lap thing. You would at least know that it was on then, because you clearly go to a different part of the track.
I just wish they had a different visual aid. I don't like the different part of the track thing.
I'm fine with it.
I think it's weird.
It's very easy for the fans to tell.
Yeah, but then it takes you offline and then you lose whatever gap you had.
It depends on where you implement it. But in theory, you gain it back because you got 15 or 20% more power for the next lap.
I wonder, does Formula E get BOP'd? No, right?
I think that they do between the manufacturers. Because you have many manufacturers creating their own technology in this. But But between the individual cars, no. It's very much like IMSA, right? The manufacturers get BOP'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do believe that happens, but I also believe there's a very set rule set for technology and management and all that kind of stuff.
I don't like the way they look.
From what I know, next year they are moving to an open wheel format.
That'll be better.
Yes, which probably will look better. We'll be interested to see if we have wheel-to-wheel contact more often, though, and cars get airborne.
Good.
Jeez.
That's why they have halos.
Yeah. I don't want to see cars getting airborne. I don't care if they have halos or not.
I want to see Formula E cars get airborne.
Why?
Because I hate them.
Oh, I want to see Porsches get airborne, okay?
You've seen it with the highlight of the Porsche on top of the other Porsche.
Yeah. On
so,
the website.
Hey, you.
He didn't use his halo, though. I guess the one on the
He actually
bottom
used his wing, more specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Formula E was racing this weekend. It was the final race of the championship, which I didn't really pay too much attention to.
None.
Do you know who won?
I do have the results of this race. The results go, the third place was some guy named Jake Dennis.
What?
Yeah, sure, him. Second place was someone that we do actually know of, Stoffel Van Dorn.
Heard of that name.
Formula One driver, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then first place goes to Eduardo Mortara. Some guy we've never heard of.
I've heard of the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how the race shook out.
Do you know who won the championship?
Yes, it goes to the person that we've heard of. Stoffel Van Dorn took number 1 in the championship, followed by number 2, a guy we've never really heard of, Mitch Evans.
Nope.
Congrats, Mitch Evans, on being the first loser. And then third place went to Eduardo Mortara in the championship as well. Again, I don't really know who he is.
Okay.
The only person here that rings any bells is Stoffel Van Dorn for me. Everyone else is a golf cart enthusiast, I suppose.
These cars do look fairly fast, and I will say the racing is relatively close. It's not terrible. It's just the sound that's terrible. Another interesting note, I just thought of this as we were scrolling through these photos. You could race these cars indoors.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Why?
The echo of that awful electric car everyone would leave with a headache, like a migraine. Give me all of your aspirin, my head's gonna explode.
It is interesting to think that you could race these indoors.
Because there's no combustion.
Right. There's no carbon dioxide. So you could do it. If you would, I don't really think so, because you would need a big indoor facility.
You know what? Hold on. How do they race monster trucks indoors?
I think it's just a big enough facility. So
how do they race motocross indoors?
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right.
I just thought about that.
I guess it's just big enough with enough airflow.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Good point.
So you could race anything indoors.
With a big enough facility, I guess so.
Yeah. Apparently this last Formula E race was in Korea.
Yeah, Seoul,
Korea,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not north. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, how'd that go?
No one will ever know.
Oh, I can just picture what would happen there.
Another note, Mercedes did win both this race and the championship.
Oh. Porsche did not. Good.
No.
I hope they lose all of their Formula E stuff.
Wow.
So that they pull out of it.
Wow.
I hope Porsche, I'm the biggest Porsche fan in the world, and I hope Porsche absolutely gets tanked and loses everything in Formula E so it makes them stop making electric vehicles.
But won't their electric 911 be worse if they get out of this?
That would mean they just won't make one.
No, they're making one. They're certainly making one.
Damn it.
And you have to love it.
I will not.
You don't have a choice.
I will not.
All right.
I will not. I just won't.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's Formula E. It was in Korea and Seoul, and the final race was taken by Eduardo Mortara, and the drivers' championship was taken by Stoffel Van Dorn.
In a Mercedes.
Yeah, in a Mercedes. Yeah.
EQ.
In EQ.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Are we moving on from Formula E now?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, you want to go to something very opposite of Formula E?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what's the most opposite kind of car of Formula E?
Stadium super truck.
You're close with that. Something else with a big rumbly V8.
V8 supercar.
Uh-huh. But that still goes left and right.
Mm.
I'm looking for something that only goes left.
Oh, God. NASCAR.
Yeah, brother. The most opposite of Formula E.
NASCAR.
One of my all-time favorite drivers was just spied testing in a NASCAR. The Iceman.
Kimi Raikkonen.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What an unsuspecting driver to be racing in a NASCAR.
Is it, though?
I don't know.
Because what?
I'm stoked. He's racing at the Glen.
Is he?
Yeah.
In a cup car?
Yeah. NASCAR. Yeah.
Huh. Neat. I don't think that's odd. Once you retire from F1, you have the open book to race whatever you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, because F1 is supposed to be the best drivers in the world, yada, yada. Okay, sure, Lewis Hamilton. Anyway, I think if you get to F1, you basically can race anything. You can walk up to any team and you can say, knock, knock, I'm here. I'm Kimi Raikkonen. I won, I don't know how many world titles he won. At least one with Red Bull. So
Red Bull? What?
Was it with Red Bull? Or was it with Ferrari? I think it was with Ferrari. Anyway, he won an F1 World Championship. You can come up to any team and you can race any car you want, essentially. If I were him, I'd go try Indy, which we've seen drivers do. I'd go try NASCAR. I'd go try V8 Supercar. Go try some Le Mans stuff. Why not?
I love that he's racing in a NASCAR.
Yeah.
He was testing at VIR. And this article that you just had, scroll down a little bit. So there's some quotes that I love how straight up Kimi is with his quotes. He is the most simple man to talk to. I love it. Like, you would see him in these interviews after an F1 race, and they ask him this like really complicated question about like, how did you think through taking your opponent and giving the undercut to him and then getting him back on the next chicane? And he just says, I just drive past him. I was like, yes, I love that, Kimi. So there's the bottom part. So far, it's been good.
That's all that needs to be said.
Kimi.
Yep.
It's been good.
Yep. So I think that he was testing at VIR with a team called Trackhouse. And I know that they do NASCAR. They currently have a Cup car in the series. You cannot drive the current Cup car in your testing, which is interesting. So he was driving a NASCAR-like car. It was not exactly a Cup car, but it was 95% there. You just can't take the current Cup car that you're driving, and you can't replicate it to use it for practice.
Why is that, do you know?
I believe that it's for basically to even out the field. You don't want the big teams developing a bunch of cars, going to a bunch of racetracks, doing a bunch of testing. They try to keep it limited. I know that the driver themselves cannot go test at any track at any time.
Got it.
And that is just for money purposes for teams, which I think is a good idea. But it kind of puts Kimi in a weird spot where he has to drive a NASCAR-like car and then go into a real NASCAR, not actually having driven that car.
Yeah.
Kind of odd, but I get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But, yeah, he's been testing in a NASCAR.
Yep. He's going to be at Watkins Glen.
How cool is that?
This weekend, right?
Yeah, actually. Real quick, there are some upcoming races. We'll get to that here in a minute. But there's one more little bit of news.
Yes, there is. So there's rumor going around that California, the Auto Club Speedway, have you ever watched a NASCAR race there?
Not that I can think of.
It's a 2-point-something mile oval. It's a classic NASCAR track. One of the fastest tracks I think there is on the NASCAR circuit. And it also, I think, has the IndyCar speed record at like 240 or something crazy.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, like super fast.
It's fast.
So NASCAR goes there and IndyCar goes there on a different weekend. Apparently, they're giving IndyCar the boot. They're giving the track the bulldozer. and they're turning it into a NASCAR short track.
Whoa.
That's the rumor.
Weird.
The schedule for 2023 is like pseudo release for NASCAR, and they're like saying this will be the last time we race this circuit and this layout, and then IndyCar's kind of like probably not going back.
Don't blame them.
Yeah. IndyCar on a small like Martinsville, Bristol, it wouldn't work. A short track, it wouldn't work.
It just seems boring.
Yeah. Well, those cars aren't meant to do that.
Correct.
Open wheel aero cars don't work on a short track.
Yeah. They don't bump and grind like a NASCAR.
Mm-hmm. So it's not quite confirmed, but there are enough rumors and enough people digging into schedules to say that, yeah, it seems like California's Auto Club's getting redone soon.
Call it confirmed at this point.
Yeah.
Got it. Fair enough. Well, sucks for Indy there.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
They can replace it with something else.
Hopefully another road track.
Nope. Go back to Indianapolis for the fourth race.
How many races can we do at Indy? Can we make it 10?
We can go forward. We can go backward. Let's go upside down. Why not?
Hey, it's like Stranger Things. You got to go in the upside down.
There you go.
All right, so let's quickly get into the upcoming races for this weekend. It's another weekend where there's not a lot going on. There's more than last weekend, but not a lot going on this weekend. There's going to be Indy at Madison, Illinois. Not Madison, Wisconsin, but Madison, Illinois at the Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Okay.
Great. The Worldwide Technology. That sounds very
Wasn't that
nondescript.
Gateway?
Yes.
I think it was
Gateway. The computers, right?
Yes, but I think that they re-sponsored. So
yes, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So that's racing this weekend. Indy at the Gateway Worldwide thing. Then we also got NASCAR at Watkins Glen.
That will be interesting.
So of those two races, which one are you more excited to watch?
NASCAR.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So stoked for that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
And
Super excited.
Think that's basically it. There's not much more.
There's really not a lot of racing happening. Everyone's kind of in like a summer break right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of just in limbo. What are we doing? Who's doing what, when, where, why, how? It's just kind of...
One thing you can do is keep an eye on the contract shenanigans that are still going on with McLaren, with Kyle Busch, with all the other drivers. Silly season is still in full swing.
Mm-hmm.
And the last I heard some documents came out from the Alex Palou shenanigans. And indeed, Alex is being sued by the team he's driving. It's because he was actively working with McLaren to figure out if he could get to F1. And it seems likely that Alex is going to lose the lawsuit, be stuck on the bench for a year, and probably not drive a car next year.
Oh,
awkward. Ooh. There is a countersuit coming from his lawyers back to Chip Ganassi. So
of course there is.
I don't know, man. It's lawsuits.
Of course there is. It's just, it's a silly season for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't fancy watching Indy at Madison, Illinois, or NASCAR at Watkins Glen, you can actually hop on to weareauto.io and check out any of the many races we've got up on there. You name it. Ferrari Challenge, MX-5 Cup, Porsche Carrera Cup.
Australia.
Yeah. WEC. Stadium Super Trucks. Come on. Come watch it. That's weekends like this when there's not a lot on. Check it out.
Yep.
So, you got anything else?
I do not.
All right. It's going to wrap us up. Episode 105. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please do leave us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment on the video here. Let us know. Would you rather watch Indy at Madison, Illinois, or NASCAR at Watkins Glen? And if you're listening on audio, please do leave us a 5-star rating and a review on your platform of choice. Your Apple, Google, Spotify. That's how it goes. And then, I know you got your phone out. Go ahead and follow us on social. We're there. You're there too. Facebook is WeAreAuto. Instagram is WeAreAuto_. YouTube is WeAreAuto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.